you know, obviously since Nipsey Hussle passed, I mean, I don't know if we got to hear a lot of from how you felt about that. Like, do you have any? Did you ever work with Nipsey? Do you have any music from him that's unreleased? And how did that affect you?
It affected, you know, the nation. You know, all of the, you know, just to see a young kid like that, you know, with so much ahead of him, get into a situation like that over jealousy. You know, it was really sad. It was really sad, and it was just a horrible thing for hip hop and for the West Coast and for, you know, young kids all over the world. As far as music, we were supposed to actually do some work together. You know, he had hit me through I think it was either Twitter or Instagram. He DM'd me and said, let's work, you know. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it together. And then he hit me before, and I sent him some music, you know. So I'm pretty sure it's probably in the vault with the other stuff. I sent him some music, so hopefully he did do it, and people will get to hear it one day. But we definitely was gonna work, you know. We was definitely gonna work, and that I'm telling you, that collabo would have been really dope. Him over some of my music, that would have killed the game. Really set it off.
What can some of these young rappers do to avoid something like that happening? I mean, you know, there's a lot of incidents with these young kids. You know, pop smoke and people like just get killed for they're so senseless. I mean, do you have any like words of advice for people?
Definitely.
Yeah, what would you say?
Just tighten your circle, and make sure that you know you have people around that's their job to make sure nobody infiltrate on you, you know, or try to harm you. So even if it's off-duty police officers, you're not a punk because you hiring somebody to protect you from you getting killed and losing your life. So you got to keep your circle tight, and you got to keep some people around you that's their job to make sure that nobody is gonna harm you. And I think if a lot of these guys adapt that formula, instead of carrying a bunch of your homeboys with you that's got guns and shit, you know, and if they get caught, they're gonna be stressed or struck out. You gotta hire the right motherfuckers to be around you. You know, I mean, them off-duty police officers, they need money too. You know, so they're gonna do their job because that's another way of income for them. You know, the good one, not no crooked guy, you know, somebody that's real about their job and willing to help protect you, like really protect you, you know. And if a motherfucker get mad talking about, oh, you got police, then it is what it is. You protecting your life from a jealous motherfucker or even the motherfucker who's saying this shit talking about you got police around you. I'm yeah, they're around me because they protecting me from your motherfucking ass. And I'm talking about off-duty police officers, you know, that's not just like any police officer. These guys, some of them is retired, you know, some of them just do off-duty work, you know. And, you know, like if I have guys working with me, they know the culture, which is hip-hop. You know, they know everything about me. They know what's going on, and they ain't on no bullshit. They there to do their job.
You think, like, if Nipsey had some of those people around him, like off-duty police officers, that all, like, this could have been avoided?
Well, yeah, that and you know, and some of you know, I don't know if all his people was around him at that moment, but he did have like some, you know, his personal security who he does have with him, J-Rock. If he would have, you know, if he would have tapped in with him and told him, okay, I'm here, then he would have probably been cool because he's certified to carry. You know, so he would have been good, you know. From what I understand, he wasn't there, so, you know. And then at the same time, you know, you feel comfortable in your neighborhood, you know, because I've been like that, you know, the same way, where I used to pull up on everybody, or I'll be somewhere and the whole hood will come and this, that, and this. But then few incidents, you know, in my neighborhood made me say, okay, you know what, I got to realize who I am. And I just can't be pulling up and stopping and chatting with everybody all the time, because everybody ain't happy for you. So I realized that shit, and I started going to certain places or certain areas, and that I know where my people is, the people I grew with, and the people that love me and I love them.
Being around haters is a deadly game,
deadly
in hip hop. So what have you been doing during the quarantine, like, to stay busy? You been in the studio?
I actually finished a record that I had with Dolla ign. I actually finished that, and I'm going to be dropping that pretty soon. It's called And You Know That. We're looking at June 19th right now, so I can't wait for people to hear that, because it's time. It's been a while.
The song with Dolla ign, like, is that someone that you're really close with? Like, how did that song come about?
Well, me and Ty, I've been knowing Ty for a long time. We used to hang out back in the day. I used to barbecue, and we'd hang out and listen to music and shit like that. And so we've been knowing each other for a long time, for about maybe like 6-7 years, maybe longer than that, maybe about 10. And we always wanted to work together. Actually, he told me one of the first songs that inspired him to start doing music was Endo Smoke. And he said he learned how to play that with the bass guitar when he was young. And another crazy thing about that is that his dad, Tyrone, sold me my first equipment right there right when I got signed with Def Jam back in the day. I went straight to Nadine's to go get equipment, so I didn't have to rent studio time all the time, so I could work out the house and not have to pay that studio cost. And his dad sold me my first equipment, so that was like a trip for me and him to be working together.
Where was that, Long Beach?
No, this was in Hollywood. At Nadine's was a music store in Hollywood. Yeah, that's where I first met his father. Yeah.
Is it Warren G featuring Dolla ign? Like, are you the producer? And
yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's Warren G featuring Dolla ign. It was a record I produced. And a lot of people really don't realize that I'm more of a producer than I am an artist. They don't really know that. Yeah, it was totally produced by me. And me and Ty did his thing with the vocals, and we put together a masterpiece.
Are there any other artists that you're going to be releasing like songs like this, this summer?
Yeah. I got a couple of records that I'm releasing this summer. After I get the Dolla ign record going, a few months after that, I got another record called Waiting on You. It's got Problem on it, and this new kid named Adrian Marcel. That record is really hot. I can't wait for people to hear that. Every record that's coming is gonna be off the chain, and then I also got me and Janae Aiko had talked, and just getting a record prepared to send to her, and then me and her gonna do a collabo too also. Yeah, I hit her through Instagram. And we've talked before in person, and we always wanted to work with each other. So we're gonna finally, I'm gonna get the record done and get it over to her so she could check it out and get, lay some votes.
I see you post pictures with Snoop a lot, obviously, and so are you doing any work or anything with Snoop or Dre or anyone like that?
Well, me and Snoop I got a song that me and Snoop did. It's pretty dope. That's gonna be coming also. As far as Dre, I just haven't tapped in with him to work. So I'll probably tap in with him during this, during these times we're going through, so we could try to put something together. I would love to do a record with him. And they've never been done before, like with just me and him going back and forth. I think the shit'll go crazy.
But you do have a song with Snoop that you're working on?
Yeah, I got a record with Snoop that's pretty dope. I even got a record with Nate that's dope that I haven't released.
Oh, okay.
That I may release. I got a couple records with me and Nate that we did that's unreleased, and me and Snoop got some unreleased stuff too. So it's gonna be some stuff coming. I may do the one record with just me, Snoop, and Nate, 213 style.
Know that. That's right.
And you do know that.
My friend Warren G, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It's all good, man. Thanks for having me. Check this out. This your boy Warren G, and you listening to the Domenick Natty Show. You better ask somebody.